They are removing our stories and our history. They are removing our names from government buildings. It's as if someone wants to erase our footprints.
Filed lawsuit accuses Tyler Perry of assaulting an actor on one of the filmmaker's shows. Actor Derek Dixon has sued Perry for $260 million.
Meghan Markle's Hollywood empire is burning, and we're all just watching the flames rise higher. It was supposed to be a glittering fairy tale, one of glamour, royalty, and reinvention, but instead the reality is a crumbling house of cards. Markle, once hailed as the bold new force who bravely walked away from British royalty to reclaim her life, now finds herself isolated in a town where relationships are everything. Her dream of dominating Hollywood has become a nightmare of broken alliances and devastating betrayals.
There have been some sexual assault claims made by him. It's a chap called Derek Dixon, and it's a $260 million lawsuit. And I say it's interesting because he is Lilibet's godfather. He revealed this on the Netflix show. He appeared as a character witness for Harry and Meghan in their...
It wasn't long ago when Meghan Markle first captivated the world. A stunning Hollywood actress turned duchess, capturing headlines and hearts alike. From Suits star to royal icon, her journey seemed like a modern Cinderella story, perfectly curated, with sparkling media appearances, impassioned speeches, and a circle of influential friends. Oprah Winfrey called her inspiring, Tyler Perry offered her sanctuary, and Hollywood's elite welcomed her into their inner circles with open arms. But now, suddenly, and shockingly, Meghan stands alone. Oprah has distanced herself quietly, and Tyler Perry, once Meghan's closest ally and protector, is now publicly turning against her, raising serious questions about loyalty and manipulation that have stunned industry insiders. So how did it come to this? How did a woman with seemingly limitless potential and a powerful network find herself so quickly shunned? Industry whispers reveal a darker, more complicated truth behind Meghan's carefully controlled public image. High-profile friendships, it seems, came at a cost Meghan wasn't willing to pay. Oprah Winfrey's discreet withdrawal from Meghan's orbit was a red flag, but it was Tyler Perry's recent bombshell that truly sent shockwaves through Hollywood, leaving Meghan's reputation in ruins. At the BET Awards, Perry sent a clear and brutal message, declaring from the stage, "You can't build a palace on unpaid bills." It was a direct shot at Meghan Markle, her reputation, and the carefully crafted narrative of gratitude and friendship between them. His words echoed far beyond that stage. This was no mere celebrity spat. It was a calculated public rebuke aimed squarely at Meghan, painting her as manipulative, untrustworthy, and opportunistic. Insiders now say Perry's frustration wasn't just about money, but stemmed from years of one-sided generosity. Perry was Meghan's savior when she left the royal family, offering shelter, security, and support, but sources close to him claim that Meghan never reciprocated his generosity, using their relationship purely for self-promotion and strategic leverage.
It hasn't been a good beat weekend for Meghan Markle, however, as there is growing speculation that she was asked not to appear on stage with her apparent BFF, Tyler Perry, at the Paley Center Honors.
And then the whispers became deafening. Behind closed doors, Meghan allegedly exploited Perry's recent legal crisis, an explosive $260 million lawsuit accusing Perry of inappropriate behavior with a former colleague to secure her position with Netflix. While Hollywood reeled from the allegations against Perry, Meghan remained silent, coldly strategic, and according to insiders, leveraged Perry's weakened state to negotiate a lucrative renewal of her streaming deal. The move shocked even seasoned industry veterans. Was Meghan's silence deliberate? Was this a ruthless business decision designed to position herself as the safer, scandal-free investment?
Of the timeline that it took for Derek Dixon to come forward with these allegations, if they're true.
Well, that's one of the arguments the defense always makes, right? Is, well, if you were assaulted or harassed, why did you stay? Why didn't you report it right away? What I love as the plaintiff's lawyer is a contemporaneous report. So hopefully they have that. And I understand he's been getting therapy since 2020.
As these whispers took root, a disturbing picture emerged. One of Meghan using friendships as stepping stones in her pursuit of Hollywood power. Her silence over Perry's devastating allegations didn't just anger industry leaders, it led many to question Meghan's character and integrity. Here was Tyler Perry, the godfather to Meghan and Harry's daughter Lilibet, now facing life-altering accusations. Yet his closest friends, the Sussexes, offered no comfort, no public support, nothing. As British royals expert Hilary Fordwich told Fox News Digital, their silence revealed a total lack of moral courage. It was more than just bad optics. It was a dagger to Perry's back from people who had accepted his boundless hospitality.
It'd certainly be helpful, in addition to the text message evidence that we had. Sometimes victims don't want to come forward, right? You're talking about a rich and famous individual. And look at what's happened. Perry's lawyer came out and said, this guy's lying. This is a shakedown. This is extortion, right? They always go after the victim. And we don't know if the allegations are true in this case or not, but very few harassment cases are reported or litigated.
And yet, it gets darker. Industry insiders claim Meghan's silence is not just self-serving, it might be legally strategic. According to legal experts watching the Perry scandal unfold, Meghan and Harry's refusal to speak out might be perceived as an implicit endorsement of Perry's defense, or worse, a tactical distancing designed to shield their brand from fallout. Prince Harry himself famously said silence is betrayal, yet now, when their ally desperately needed support, the Sussexes' silence spoke louder than any words. The most explosive rumor of all paints Meghan as ruthlessly pragmatic, viewing Perry's lawsuit crisis as her moment to shine. A calculated, icy move to establish herself as the more stable, reliable celebrity partner for Netflix, as Perry's reputation was torpedoed. Hollywood sources are now openly speculating whether Meghan's loyalty ever existed, or if she merely saw Perry as a convenient rung on her ladder toward dominance in streaming media. But this brings us to an unsettling question. If Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, is willing to turn her back so coldly on Tyler Perry, a man who literally offered her family a lifeline in their darkest hour, then what else might she be capable of? What other secrets might she be hiding behind the curated smiles, the polished interviews, and the glossy Instagrams? Those questions loom large and unanswered, tantalizingly close to the surface. Tyler Perry's lawsuit saga has not only rocked his empire, but exposed the raw nerve of betrayal at the heart of Meghan's Hollywood narrative. Even Perry's lawyer has attempted to dismiss the accusations as a scam, but the damage is done, and Meghan's silence has left her once ironclad reputation hanging by a thread.
You're the defense, and do you look at that he didn't file as a John Doe and say, look, this is proof that this was a shakedown, which is the term that they've used?
Look, it's interesting. Obviously, the fact that he didn't file as a John Doe, that's not an argument that the defense can make. But really, and I've sued a lot of celebrities. I'm sitting here in Hollywood right now. I've represented some, but sued a lot more. So I've handled a lot of cases like this. Most of the time, the victims will come in, and when I explain what a lawsuit entails, they have pause, right?
But Meghan doesn't appear to see the crisis unfolding around her. Or maybe she just doesn't care. Instead of addressing the scandal engulfing Perry, Meghan doubled down on her new brand as ever, flooding social media with glossy images and carefully crafted posts designed to reinforce her image as a relatable yet empowered entrepreneur. Podcast host Kinsey Schofield put it bluntly, you can post a 4-year-old video of yourself dancing, but you can't acknowledge a friend in need? One who showed you kindness impossible to measure? The disconnect between Meghan's public persona and her behind-the-scenes maneuvers grows more glaring every day.
Meghan Markle's podcast has ended its 8-episode run, and there are no plans to release a second season at this point. What a surprise.
Is Meghan so lost in her own ambition that she can no longer see the damage done to those around her? Or worse, does she see it and simply not care, as long as her star continues to rise? Critics are openly wondering if Meghan's relationships have become transactional, friendships turned into stepping stones, loyalty discarded the moment it becomes inconvenient. Hollywood whispers are now openly suggesting that Meghan is desperate, anxious to establish herself as more than a royal brand, to prove she can thrive in the cutthroat world of American celebrity. But in doing so, she risks losing everything: friends, alliances, even her own husband, Prince Harry.
I think that, as we've spoken about, this show has completely underperformed. It did not really appear on the Spotify charts. This was, of course, the podcast that she made with Lemonada Media. It's still unclear, actually, about what money has come from this podcast. So originally, when she signed up with Spotify, there was money up front. That deal went south. She signed up with...
Because let's face it, Harry doesn't exactly look thrilled these days. While Meghan launches brands and podcasts, Harry is quietly reconnecting with old UK friends, seeking solace away from the relentless glare of Meghan's Hollywood ambitions. Sources close to the prince have openly hinted that he feels overshadowed, unhappy, and homesick, his mental health struggles exacerbated by Meghan's ceaseless drive for fame. And Meghan, say insiders, is fully aware of these rumors and desperately trying to dispel them through carefully staged public displays of family unity. But the cracks are showing, and even Meghan's most loyal supporters are starting to question her sincerity. Hollywood is all about appearances, and Meghan's empire was built on the powerful image of a brave, compassionate trailblazer who sacrificed royalty for authenticity. But when her closest friends publicly distance themselves, when her silence in the face of scandal seems calculated and cold, even her most carefully curated image can shatter overnight. If Meghan Markle can abandon Tyler Perry, her protector, friend, and daughter's godfather, in his moment of greatest crisis, then what other explosive secrets is she keeping hidden? What other betrayals could be lurking behind those polished smiles? The questions grow louder, the whispers grow darker, and Meghan's Hollywood empire edges ever closer to collapse.
And if I were, if I were a troublemaker, I might accuse Harry and Meghan of unconscious bias in the employment department, looking at all the new faces that are coming onto work for Harry and Meghan independently and together for their entertainment ventures. And if history repeats itself as much as Harry whines that it does, both Harry and Meghan will continue to reject any and all sound advice and will potentially treat their staff poorly. So good luck.
But Meghan's problems don't end there. Now, all eyes have shifted toward the financial dealings of her and Harry's charitable endeavor, the Arkwell Foundation. The foundation, initially a cornerstone of their noble humanitarian image, is now under intense scrutiny from legal watchdogs. According to insiders, the foundation's records raise alarming questions, with alleged irregularities popping up like red flags. Expenses that seem vague at best, questionable reimbursements at worst. Has Archwell become Meghan and Harry's personal piggy bank? The whisperers around these troubling financial matters are becoming impossible to ignore. Legal experts suggest that there could be potential issues of self-dealing, where charitable funds might benefit Meghan and Harry personally, rather than the causes they champion publicly. If proven, these allegations could seriously damage Meghan's already deteriorating public image. The tabloids, the talk shows, even former allies are all watching closely, ready to pounce at the first hint of impropriety. Are Meghan's aspirations of Hollywood glory about to unravel because of questionable accounting?
If she walked out on Harry, she would never reputationally survive it. But then Harry, without Meghan, what's his life in America?
Sources familiar with the foundation's records claim certain expenses have raised red flags, like reimbursements for personal travel and extravagant events under the guise of charity. With watchdogs and legal experts circling, could Meghan's carefully constructed facade of generosity soon collapse, revealing a much darker, self-serving reality? The potential fallout could dwarf any previous scandal, permanently branding her as opportunistic and unreliable, exactly the reputation she's been fighting to escape.
Leave the children, you see. And in America, the rules about, children, they're always with the mother, nearly always. So, I mean, so it's not going to happen. So do you remember everyone, when they got married, a lot of members actually of the royal family even said, it won't last 5 years. But it has.
It has.
It's lasted 7.
Through a lot of crises, through a lot of,
huge pressure.
Even more damning is the claim emerging from within their own inner circle that Meghan and Harry maintained their friendship with Tyler Perry primarily as a financial safety net. Insiders revealed that the couple quietly relied on Perry's considerable fortune and Hollywood connections as an insurance policy, just in case their own plans didn't pan out. If true, this revelation dismantles the narrative they've carefully cultivated, one of independence, bravery, and self-made success, and paints a troubling portrait of two people desperate to keep their luxury lifestyle afloat by any means necessary. When Meghan and Harry first fled royal life, Tyler Perry emerged as their knight in shining armor, opening up his lavish home and private resources. But now, with Perry's empire teetering on the brink due to scandal, that safety net has vanished. Insiders claim that Meghan is now frantically searching for new alliances, hoping to preserve her Hollywood ambitions and financial stability as her old support network rapidly evaporates. Could the couple's calculated relationship with Perry have always been purely transactional, designed to ensure their American dreams never faltered?
Nothing.
She's nothing. And without her, Harry's life in America is nothing.
Yes, exactly.
He has a reputation to fall back
So they
on.
have a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, they need
This idea cuts deep into Meghan's public image. Is she the compassionate, strong-willed advocate for change, or simply another Hollywood hustler playing the game of relationships and influence for personal gain? If Perry was merely an insurance policy, it raises troubling questions about the authenticity of all their Hollywood friendships. How many other high-profile alliances were simply strategic maneuvers, carefully curated to project success and stability while quietly serving Meghan and Harry's personal interests? And let's be clear, Meghan's silence regarding Perry's current legal nightmare might be the fatal miscalculation that seals her fate in Hollywood. According to top PR insiders, her calculated decision to distance herself from Perry, despite his generous support in their darkest hours, has triggered a chilling effect among other A-listers. Hollywood is built on trust, and her silent abandonment of Perry in his time of need sends a very loud message, one that says, loyalty is disposable and friendship conditional. Industry veterans now warn that Meghan's star power, already shaky, is fading fast. The ruthless way she's handled Perry's crisis has left many wary of getting too close. Meghan's perceived abandonment of her friend and protector in a moment of scandal has put her squarely in Hollywood's coldest shadow. If she could turn her back on Perry, who provided shelter, security, and even named godfather to their daughter, who else is disposable? The damage might already be irreversible. Experts say that Hollywood operates on a delicate balance of favors, alliances, and perceived trustworthiness. Meghan, by refusing to publicly support Perry, has broken that code, leaving her isolated and vulnerable. Now, the biggest question in the industry isn't who Meghan Markle is, it's whether anyone is willing to risk associating with her at all. Have Meghan and Harry become too toxic for Tinseltown? This brewing storm could become explosive. Even loyalists who previously championed Meghan's independence and advocacy now privately voiced concern. By refusing to publicly support Perry, Meghan has left herself exposed to harsh industry judgment and public suspicion. Could there be deeper connections between Meghan, Harry, and Perry's legal drama that have yet to surface? Rumors continue swirling behind closed doors, suggesting this silence may not just be strategic. It might be an attempt to hide something more sinister.
This was very shocking and very embarrassing for Meghan, given she is on the committee of this event, but wasn't on stage with Tyler Perry. Yet Oprah was, Kerry Washington was.
This suspicion has led to a chilling industry consensus. Meghan Markle, once Hollywood's brightest rising star, is rapidly becoming untouchable. She and Harry might still have wealth and a high-profile platform, but their currency in celebrity circles, trust, is evaporating faster than anyone could have imagined. Meghan's refusal to acknowledge Perry's crisis might have seemed savvy, but it's quickly proving a costly misstep, one that threatens her entire future. With her foundation under scrutiny, former allies abandoning ship, and Tyler Perry's scandal dragging her deeper into controversy, Meghan's Hollywood dream is on the brink of total collapse. Insiders suggest Meghan is now frantically plotting her next move, desperate to salvage what remains of her image. Some speculate that Meghan might try distancing herself even further from the scandal-ridden Perry, even if it means burning every last bridge she once relied upon. But others believe her silence signals desperation, that she simply doesn't know how to recover.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm always cautious until I can watch the full event myself, because sometimes camera angles and everything sort of impact what you can see. But I found it really interesting to watch sort of her interaction with Tyler Perry on the red carpet, because he seemed, I wouldn't say super engaged with her, super excited to interact with her. Once they had taken their pictures, he was like, I want to go over here. And I think they were just moving to take additional pictures at a different...
The cruel irony is that Meghan's current troubles stem from the very qualities that once made her so appealing: her independence, ambition, and willingness to break from royal traditions. But now, Hollywood insiders say her independence looks more like self-interest, her ambition resembles manipulation, and her silence has morphed from dignified to disturbingly strategic. If Meghan Markle's star is indeed falling, what will Hollywood's most ambitious former royal do next? Will she abandon Tinseltown altogether, seeking refuge in a new venture far from prying eyes and unrelenting scrutiny? Or will Meghan double down, embracing the ruthless side of Hollywood she once seemed determined to avoid, betting everything on her ability to charm, persuade, and outmaneuver her critics?
But I don't think he is super enthused by some of aspects of his relationship with Harry and Meghan, because I think in some ways as well, Meghan can be very demanding. Obviously, he lent them his home.
Perhaps the most pressing question is whether Meghan's silence on Tyler Perry's explosive scandal is an act of loyalty to herself. Could it be that her refusal to speak is less about avoiding controversy and more about hiding something she desperately hopes will never surface? Hollywood has always been unforgiving of secrets, especially ones that tie its stars to scandals this incendiary. Meghan Markle might have thought she could manage the narrative, but is the narrative now managing her?
In some instances, it might have been a security team. He lent them his jet. And so he's lent them a lot of things. And you got to wonder sometimes if they start to ask for too much. And he's like, let's calm it down. But I don't think he was probably really wanting her on stage, because her being there, all the attention goes to her. And it was his night, and I'm sure he was not happy to have any of his attention stolen.
As Meghan's reputation crumbles around her, the silence surrounding Perry's lawsuit scandal grows deafening. Insiders hint this story is far from over, with new revelations brewing beneath Hollywood's surface. What secrets could Meghan and Harry be desperate to protect? Is Tyler Perry's fall just the beginning of an even bigger scandal about to erupt, dragging the Sussexes down with it? Could Meghan's Hollywood ambitions be destroyed not by a lack of talent, but by the shocking secrets hidden behind her carefully constructed image? But now we turn it over to you. What do you think Meghan Markle is really hiding? Do you believe her silence is strategic or self-destructive? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep questioning, keep watching, and remember, In Hollywood, nothing stays secret for long.